Salute to everybody in the building. Hit that like button as you come on in. The weigh-ins has concluded. The ceremonial weigh-ins just went down. Both fighters came in at a slim trimmed 167.5 pounds. Both guys look ready to go. Both guys looking like they ready to put on the show. Hit that like button as you come on in, man. We got to talk about this fight before we get out of here and go. We got to talk about this, man. This is the last day we get to really talk about it before it happens. Right? This is the big one, y'all. Both guys look like they in shape. People say Canelo looks skinny. Canelo actually did come out and said, yeah, he's aiming for speed. He's aiming for everything in this fight. So Canelo's taking Crawford just as serious as any opponent. Actually, probably more serious than any opponent that he probably has ever faced in his career. Salute to everybody in the building. Hey, Bud definitely looks like a natural 168 pounder. Wow, right? When Charlo moved up, he didn't look like this, right? I can't remember, but he didn't look like this. I mean, Bud Crawford really didn't put on like muscle. No, he really just ain't cut as much weight. He sat around for a whole year, put some size on. Yeah, Charlo looked at chubby, put some size on, but Crawford looks like he's a natural 168 almost, right? It looks like he's going to be formed just fine tomorrow night. Now we go back to the Spence fight. He looked a little kind of drawn in and real dehydrated. This time he seemed like he's really feeling good. He said he feels wonderful and he can't wait to put on the show tomorrow night. Yeah, Bud looks like he's in really, really good shape. He looks like he feels good. Because usually fight week, these fighters be kind of agitated. Canelo's probably a little agitated, you know what I'm saying? But Crawford looks like he's feeling really good. You know what I'm saying? He ain't got to stress his body. He ain't got to stress his brain. He ain't got no headache or nothing. He's not dehydrated. He probably not as dehydrated as Canelo, I'll tell you that. Salute to everybody in the building. You say you got Bud Canelo look nervous? Hey, this fight gonna be nuts, man. This fight's gonna be nuts. Canelo, I ain't gonna lie though. Canelo came in a lot better looking shape than I expected. Even though he did just come off of a fight a few months ago, he looks like he's in. He took this Terrence Crawford fight lot more serious than I thought. Smash that like button. Come on in. You said Bud 10th round stoppage. Yeah, man. Let me see. Salute to everybody in the building. Jason Williams, salute. Miss KMO, salute. Basket Rock, salute from the mean streets of Omaha, Nebraska. Jimmy Boxing, salute. Easy to Great, salute. Chip the Bud, salute. Matt Barr, salute. You said he drained, he done? Hey, this fight probably about to be one of the biggest fights in boxing history. This is gonna be one of the biggest fights for sure. You see that fucking crowd, that weigh-in, bro? That weigh-in crowd was bigger than some of these guys' fights. Bigger than some of these dudes' fights, bro. That weigh-in crowd, that it was bigger than some of these fights, bro. You said Canelo got zero stamina. I'm curious to see how big Canelo gets tomorrow night by the time they step in the ring. You said in Pro PBC channel sick right now. What they doing? Hey, Mike Capinger was trying to hate on Bud. Y'all saw that? Salute to Marquise Monroe, my boy, for the super chat. He says, I think Canelo gonna bleed this fight. I think so too, bro. We might see some cuts from Canelo. Crawford is a really sharp. Contrary to what I was saying yesterday, he's a dude who has pinpoint accuracy. You know what I'm saying? When he throws punches, he don't waste punches. Canelo will be getting hit. We might see Canelo bleed tomorrow, man, for the first time in a long time. Canelo might actually be bleeding tomorrow. Because Crawford, he's going to be landing some shots for sure. Canelo better show up, I'll tell you that. He better not show up like he did against William Skull. It's going to be a rough, rough night for him. rough night for him. He better hope he got some wheels, some air in them wheels, so he can move around the ring. Um, yeah, this is it, y'all. Is Canelo nervous? Canelo a little worried. Some people say. Some people saying Canelo looks like he's a little worried about this one. They say Canelo's a little worried, y'all. Yeah, smash that like button, you guys. Bud about to take it to the house. I mean, I think the talk is over, man. We said almost everything we could really say. Now it's the last hours until tomorrow, until this thing goes down. Everybody had their predictions and their breakdowns um, as to how they see this fight playing out. I think Crawford's gonna get it done. Three-time undisputed champion. He seems super confident. Um, he just seems ready. He seems ready for the moment. He was embracing the villain role, Bad Bud, right? He's Bad Bud right now. So he was kissing the crowd, blowing kisses to the crowd as they was booing. It was cool. It was like some WWE shit. He was enjoying being the bad guy. You know what I'm saying? It's unfortunate that it took Crawford almost to damn near 40 years old for him to get a fight of this magnitude. You know what I'm saying? To the point where now, if he put up an excellent performance and he looks really good, we gonna want to see more of him. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna want to see more of Bud Crawford. This is why Turkey said, "Don't retire, man. We don't want, nah." You know what I'm saying? Because this is it. This is the biggest fight in boxing. So if Crawford wins and he sticks around, he's gonna be one of the cash cows. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the cash cows in the sport now. Yeah, they said Bud didn't sell. They said he couldn't draw. They said he couldn't talk. They said he ain't fought nobody. But look where he's at. Yeah, he said, why he always got to be the bad guy. I don't know. Maybe because there wasn't enough Black American fans in attendance rooting for Terrence Bud Crawford. Maybe because there's not enough Black American fans rooting for Terrence Bud Crawford. I see a lot of Black Americans saying that he's going to lose, he's going to get knocked out. Maybe these guys are Spence fans. But the Mexican fans, they show undying, unwavering, just unsettling support for Canelo Alvarez, regardless of what's going on, whether they think he can actually win, they go still show their support. But it's not the same for Bud Crawford. So Bud Crawford knows what he got to do regardless. We rocking with him. You know what I'm saying? We rocking with Bud Crawford. You know what I'm saying? It was a pro Canelo crowd for sure. And it's gonna be even more magnifying tomorrow, but it's gonna be really, really quiet once they step into that ring and Crawford jabbing his way to a victory. Hey, can't none of them get in the ring and fight for him. That's right. They can't. They can scream and cheer and motivate and all they want, but they can't get in the ring and fight for him. And Terrence Crawford isn't one of those guys. He just seems too mentally strong for any of this stuff to get to him. You know what I'm saying? Like, if this was any other fight, I'm like, man, the moment might get to him. Because sometimes it does. But I don't think that's going to be the case for Bud Crawford. Not at all. Not at all. This is the moment he's been waiting for to show everybody. Because this is why he got that chip on his shoulder. Even despite everything he's accomplished, he still got that chip on his shoulder. And this is the fight that's going to show us why. People been talking shit for years, and now they can't say nothing after he move up two weight classes, three, two, whatever you want to call it now, all right? And to beat Canelo Alvarez, no rehydrations, no stipulations, no catch weights. He taking them how he come. You know what I'm saying? No excuses. Throwback, old school. Not like Tank Davis. Salute to OG Bobby Johnson for the super chat. He says, "Here's to the dojo dudes. Bud is about to shock the world like the young clashes." Yes, bro. This is man, I'm telling people, bro. I've been telling people with conviction, like, look, man, watch what's gonna happen. Watch what's gonna happen. Every so often, you get this special athlete, regardless of the sport. Crawford's one of those athletes. Crawford's one of those guys, those special guys. You know what I'm saying? And we about to see how truly special this dude is tomorrow night. Canelo's special in his own right, but I think this is Crawford's time. I think this is his era. I think this is his time. You know what I'm saying? I just think this is Bud's time. But I must admit, Canelo Alvarez looks good. He looks like he's in really good shape. And what they say, Canelo, this is the best shape he's ever been in his life, right? Best shape he's ever been. This is what they were saying. Um, and he doing everything for this fight. You know, they brought in Boots. Actually, I meant to do a video on it, but Boots actually called in, you know, Canelo and asked to join the camp. So yeah, I'm kind of looking at him kind of funny about that. It would be different if Canelo called him and he's like, yeah, you know what, yeah, I'll come in. But he actually called Canelo to come in. So that's I don't know. I don't know about all that, but whatever the case, John Boots in this isn't Terrence Bud Crawford, and we about to find out how this thing plays out tomorrow night. Now I'm not sure if I'm gonna do um play by play live or I may just do the traditional post fight reaction. I haven't decided yet, but I guess it depends on what's going on. I might be over my people's crib watching because you know my family, they want to watch it, and you know that I gotta be there to let everybody know what the hell is going on. You said Canelo is done. You said Mel looked like he hopped off the couch. Yeah, Mel was soft around the waist. He wasn't looking like Bud, bro. He just wasn't. Like Bud looking like he's a 168 pounder. He looks like a 168 pounder. Now he don't look like it don't look manufactured. It don't look like it's like, you know, fluff. He ain't got the spare tire on him or nothing. It don't look like it's just a big muscle just put on him or nothing. Nah, this shit look like he grew into this weight class. Like he went to a hyperbolic time chamber and he came back out and it's been a few years and he looking like this now. And it's only been like a few months. You say he should have moved up a long ago? Yeah, you nervous, ain't you, Tico? Yeah, you thought Bud was gonna be little and skinny. Nah, man. Nah. You say he should have moved up a long time. Nah, because Canelo's the right guy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the right guy to fight at 68 because he's a naturally smaller guy too. He's not like a guy that was from 68 like a Caleb Plant or any of those guys that's been there. He's a smaller guy as well, so it balances out. You say he nervous? He might be a little nervous. He might be. Hey, them Arrow channels was trying to find something, bro. They was trying to find something. You know, they tried to say his shoulder was messed up and he was really fat and out of shape and photoshopped. And I can't believe these guys still be trying to do this with Bud Crawford, bro. Coming out here taking these public L's like that. Don't y'all learn? Have you learned your lessons by now, you hard headed motherfuckers? Like leave this guy alone and just sit back and watch and see what happens and stop looking for false narratives and shit because he debunk and hop over them shits every time, bro. And y'all be looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? You start to lose credibility, especially if you're a big platform that got hundreds and thousands of people listening to you. You just come around here saying random shit. You know what I'm saying? It start looking crazy. A lot of these people are just true haters, though. A lot of these people is really, really some fucking haters, though. Like real, real bona fide haters. Nah, I don't see Bud going back to 54. Nah, he gonna have the juice, so he could pick whichever way he want to fight at. I say he should go to 160 though, but even still, it's still some guys that probably at 160 might be too big. Canelo's just the right guy at 68. Yeah, Bud got the most, like, he got some of the most credibility in the sport, and they be trying to find any ways to discredit him and shit. It's crazy. You don't like Mike Capinger? Yeah, I knew I knew when Mike was talking, he was gonna piss people off. Hey, it's like we fighting tomorrow, Hove. You ain't lying, bro. It's gonna really feel like that tomorrow. It's gonna really feel. I think if this fight was built up for some years, I feel it even more. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't built up for some years. That Spence fight, man. Ooh wee. Salute to Hollow Ninja for the super chat. He says, Bushido boxing till eternity. We keep going, bro. That's right, man. We go keep going. And we go be here regardless of the outcome, Saturday night, and we go be here Sunday to do the epilogue episode of the Canelo Crawford. We gonna do the epilogue episode, the final episode. You said, do I think he should have came in lighter? Nah. Well, initially I said that he should come in wherever he come in at. And he came in at 167.5. So I think the announcer lady, the blonde chick, was talking about Crawford was, what'd she say, like 180, 190, 180 some pounds, 184 pounds, something like that. So yeah, he cut down to, there's 20 less pounds he had to cut. To go down to 147 or 54, he had to cut as much. But probably just hit like one of those late growth spurts or some shit. You know what I'm saying? He's probably like somewhat of a late blooming guy. So that's probably why he was able to kind of just like do whatever it is he's, to put the weight on and all that shit and look normal. Not to mention he got longer limbs too. You know what I'm saying? He got long arms and shit. So you said who's the bald head white dude on the panel hating on Bud Netflix? Yeah, that was Mike Cappinger. Him and Bud got like a little beef though. They got like a little beef. Like Bud be hemming him up and shit. He said, hopefully we get all our more money in our pockets, man. Yeah. Salute to you for the super chat. Yeah, man. The betting odds, I believe on Fanatics for Crawford, I think is plus for the KO for Crawford is plus 850, 890, I think it is. I think on DraftKings is plus 800 for the KO for Bud. I think it's plus 140 for Crawford just to get the win. Canelo is a minus, I want to say it was 175. So for Canelo, you go have to put some money down if you picking him. And then I think Canelo for the knockout was like plus 300 something, I think it was. So they're not really thinking that a knockout is gonna happen per se. Why? Because both guys never really been knocked out. So but Crawford, if you put $100 down on Fanatics, which was like, it was plus 189, plus 890. So you put $100 down, it'd be $890. You know what I'm saying? You win $890 if you put $100 down on Crawford to get the KO. And for Canelo, of course, if it's 300 something, and you put 100 down, it'll be 300 some dollars. So you might, and if you're a gambling person, you might want to parlay it a little bit. Maybe put the Boychuk, few of those fights on there, the Lester Martinez, Milbili fight on there to kind of get more money. But I'll do two separate ones. I'll do a parlay, and then I'll do one just straight bet with Crawford or Canelo winning. That's what I would do. Because sometimes them parlays will fuck your whole night up. Hey, the fans was booing. We never really seen Bud get booed like that, but he was enjoying it. Hey, you said Canelo fans not, you said Bud stops, Canelo fans not as confident. No, they not. But they go support. Salute to Falcon 784 for the super chat. He says Bernard Hopkins made the jump to 175 at the age of 41 against Tarver. Also, this fight is giving me Felix Trinidad versus Bernard Hopkins vibes as far as style matchup. Who else was talking about that? Somebody else mentioned that. I think I heard somebody mention that earlier. Who said that? Yeah, it was reminding of B Hop and Trinidad. Somebody else, I think it was Timothy Bradley that said that. Yeah, he said that. I seen his video earlier, and he said something like that. It could be. It could be. Styles make fights, and I think Crawford has he has a style that nobody has figured out. You know what I'm saying? Canelo style has been figured out. It's just a matter if you can deal with him. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of guys ain't been able to really deal with Canelo, but he has been figured out. And also, Canelo is a fighter who can kind of pick who he wants to fight, so he tends to stay away from certain guys. But every so often he goes into the fire and fights these guys. And he don't necessarily always put up the best performances, but he do give these type of guys a shot, even though he don't like to fight them. You said hope Canelo makes it to round 11. You said Canelo's not confident. I don't think he is either, bro. I don't think he is either, bro. Crawford is a come on, man. Crawford, his peers got a lot of respect for him. Canelo got a lot of respect for him. Of course, Crawford respects Canelo as well. But I think Canelo is a little nervous, though. I think if you want to ask me who you felt was more nervous, I would say Canelo probably is a little bit more nervous because it's a style thing. And Crawford, even though he's a more of an aggressive fighter than a defensive fighter, um, he could still employ those tactics, the lateral movement. You know, he could play some defense. I would imagine Crawford tightened up everything for this fight, his defense, everything. I expect both guys to come in at their absolute best, honestly. You said Bud's voice always cracking. Yeah, it do be cracking. Yeah, there's a blueprint to beat Canelo, bro. But there's no blueprint to beat Bud. Do Canelo got what it takes to get the job done? Canelo hasn't got a knockout in about what 4 or 5 years, and he only had 3 KOs in his last 15 fights. He only had 3 knockouts. So Canelo's gonna have to if he's gonna stop Crawford like some of these guys predicting, then he's gonna have to really hit Crawford. Those punches gonna have to land, and they're gonna have to land often, and they're gonna have to hurt him. He's gonna have to get Crawford to fight his fight. This is a like I said, to me, it's just a tougher fight for Canelo. It's just a tougher fight for Canelo. It's just an all around tougher fight for him because there's more he has to worry about than Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Crawford got to watch out for the big bomb. You know what I'm saying? Just watch out for the big bomb. Don't let him hit you on the shoulders, stuff like that. Um, and just be smart. But for Canelo, man, he got to watch out for the southpaw stance. If Crawford decides to fight orthodox, he got to watch out for the power jab. He got to watch out for the check hook. He got to watch out for the body work, the stabs to the body. There's a lot of shit that Bud do in the ring, bro, that Canelo's going to have to be just totally prepared for. And Canelo acknowledges this. He said, we ready for everything. We trained our best. Yeah, this dude is the real deal. Salute to Hollow Ninja for another super chat. He says, Naoya Inoue at 4 a.m. after the fight, 4 hours after. Holy shit, man. They shouldn't have did that, bro. That's gonna be pretty, that's gonna be a, they shouldn't have did that, man. Inoue should have fought next week. He should definitely have fought next week. I mean, I don't mind it, but when you got two big fights like that, that fight should have been next week. That way we could have had, or even 2 weeks later, to let this fight marinate a little bit, and then we get to the Naoya Inoue fight because nobody's going to be paying attention to that for real, for real. 'Cause everybody's still going to be talking about Canelo Crawford, and then at 4 a.m. people probably be just now falling asleep by that time. So that's horrible. They didn't have no regard for the American audience at all when they booked that fight. We gonna be tired after that Canelo Crawford fight. Salute to everybody in the building, man. Hit that like button for your boy. The final weigh-in is going down tomorrow. You say you gonna be up all night. Yeah, man. I might have to get some sleep tonight, man. Yeah, ain't it? They gonna be debating. They not gonna give Crawford his just due. If Crawford beats Canelo, bro, they gonna still say he's number 3 pound for pound, and they go find something, bro. I wonder why Floyd Mayweather ain't in attendance. He ain't in the building. Floyd ain't. Yeah, I guess it ain't about Floyd, so he ain't gonna be there. I'll be surprised if Floyd shows up though. You said, do I think this could be easier than the Spence fight? Possibly. Possible. It's possible. Because it's possible. Errol Spence kept coming forward the whole time. And he was just coming forward like a machine. Canelo don't necessarily do that. He thinks a lot more. Errol Spence wasn't thinking at all. Actually, I question his IQ now. Now that I think about it, Canelo's a smarter fighter than Spence. Canelo's not about to just be doing. Um, he's not about to just be rushing in stupidly. He's not about to be doing that. It's too dangerous. You know what I'm saying? You can't afford to make too many mistakes against Crawford, bro. He's like a Goku. You can't do the same shit twice on him. You can't be making all these mistakes. Now, if Canelo comes out, he has lateral movement, he's herky jerky, he's fainting a lot and he's not doing nothing, then that could be tricky. But nah, man, they got to put on the show. They got to put on the show. Yeah, Canelo definitely has better balance than Spence too. I always knocked Spence for his balance. His balance was he's all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Canelo got better balance than Spence. He's a smart. I think his IQ is better. His defense is stronger. Um, Spence is the busier fighter for sure, but it's a different style matchup, man. It's a totally different style matchup. But will it be easier? I don't know, man. I guess we'll see. Canelo looks like he's in really good shape. So I'm now expecting Canelo to really, to pull out all stops. You know what I'm saying? Because for some years we've been seeing Canelo kind of just coasting. In my opinion, dude's been coasting. I don't care what nobody say. He's been coasting. He's been on autopilot. He's been coasting. He's been on European tour. He's been chilling, collecting the bag. But now he has to put on his boxing boots and fight for real. You know what I'm saying? So I expect Canelo to. We probably go see the. I don't know. We go see, man. We go see. But I do expect Crawford to put up a masterful performance. That's what I do expect. The thing for Canelo though, will he put up a good performance? It's possible, but a guy like Crawford, what does he do? He takes shit away from you. He takes your weapons and tools away from you to where you're left with nothing. So if Crawford takes away Canelo's left hook, he takes away Canelo's, well, shit, what else Canelo do nowadays? Um, shit. I don't know, man. Canelo gonna have to turn back the hands of time a little bit in this one. But I'm going off based off what we've seen recently, and Canelo, he gonna have to, if Crawford takes away a lot of his tools, what tools will he have? You know what I'm saying? Because he can't cut off the ring as well. His footwork ain't that great. Um, and if Crawford takes away the southpaw stance, is going to eliminate. It's going to make it more difficult for him to land those shoulder shots with the right hand and stuff like that. The left hook, he got to that's a tough fight for Canelo, bro. It's tough. He's got to hope that his strength and durability is that much greater than Terrence Crawford's. He's got to hope that Crawford can't hurt him, and he got to hope that when his punches have a lot more of effect on Bud than Bud has on him. Because skill wise, this is a tough fight. Tough fight for Canelo. Salute to Falcon for another super chat. He says Mayweather 36, Mosley 38, Cotto 35, GZ 35. Didn't walk down nor knock any one of them out despite the age and weight advantage. Yeah, you right about that, bro. He didn't knock out Cotto at all. That was actually just a boxing match. You know what I'm saying? And Cotto was smaller. I would argue that Cotto's probably a smaller dude than Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I would argue that. Maybe. I don't know, right? Cotto's kind of a smaller guy when you see him. Um, so I don't know, bro. They all was in their upper 30s though. But Canelo's not a he knows who he can walk down and who he can't walk down. That's why I said Canelo's a smart fighter. He knows who he can walk down and who he can't. You know what I'm saying? The trickier boxers, maybe the William Skull, he could try to walk that guy down, but William Skull, you saw what he was doing. You know what I'm saying? Floyd Mayweather, he tried to walk Floyd down at times, but Floyd was so quick and so sharp, and them jabs and them straights was stinging. Canelo was a little cautious about just blindly walking him down. So Canelo knows better. You know what I'm saying? I think for Canelo, he's gonna have to find the right range, um, and stay within that range. And he's gonna have to be probably busier than he has been in more recent fights. Because Canelo likes to chill. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like a sparring match. So he's gonna have to really put some shit together in this one. Because Crawford's coming. This is a big moment for Bud Crawford. He's the underdog. This is his big moment. So he's gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? Because he got a reputation to uphold. But Canelo Alvarez, he gonna have to be, man. I can't wait to see this shit, y'all. I just can't wait to see it. You said Canelo broke from the stare down twice yesterday and today. Two signs of weakness. Hey, I saw that too, Kofi Universe. I saw that. I wasn't gonna say too much about it, but he did break from that stare down twice. Now, it can mean everything or it can mean nothing at all. But we definitely saw it. He broke from that stare down twice. You know what I'm saying? Is that a sign of weakness? We go find out. Like I said, I think he got a lot of respect for Crawford. And he might be a little more nervous. Of course, you're gonna be nervous. Both guys probably a little nervous, but I would argue that Canelo's probably a little bit more nervous than Terrence Crawford. Because this is a puzzle that hasn't been solved. Crawford's whole team seems supremely confident. Supremely confident. Y'all smash that like button. We got quite a bit of people in here tonight. We all waiting for the big fight. You said Bud had that Benavidez stare. You said, am I more excited for this fight than the Spence fight? Ooh, that's tough because that Spence fight, bro, that was like 5 years in the making. I mean, it was a battle, for Spence Crawford. This fight didn't have that kind of build up. So, but I'm actually more excited for this one because this is a supremely like this will determine who's the king of this era of boxing. This fight right here will determine who's the man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm very curious on Canelo's game plan as well. I'm very curious. That's what I'm more interested in seeing what Canelo does. Because Crawford's going to adapt to whatever he's doing. So I'm more interested in seeing what Canelo does. If I was a Canelo fan, well, I am a Canelo fan, even though he pissed me off over the years. It's one of those things. But if I was going for Canelo in this fight, I would be really, really looking for him to use that jab. Because he don't use his jab like that no more. It's almost like a pity pat. He don't really use his jab like, you know what I'm saying, just to throw it. It's almost just to line up the right hand. Like it's not even like a real jab anymore. Canelo just don't do that no more. You know what I'm saying? He just don't do it. Y'all smash that like button. Speaking of Spence, I shared a new recent photo of Errol Spence. Actually, let me share it now. Um, and Maurice Hooker, I question how the hell did Maurice Hooker fight in the lower weight classes than Spence and Bud and them? Like, how was he fighting that low at all, ever? How did Mighty Mo fight that damn low? That's crazy, yo. Look, Errol Spence look like he's in phenomenal shape, though. Errol Spence is in shape. The Spence we used to see over the years, he used to be, he was, whatever he's doing, he's preparing for something. You know what I'm saying? As we can see, is Maurice Hooker. We haven't seen him in a while. He looks to be pretty big. He's not necessarily a 140 pounder anymore. I say Maurice Hooker damn near should go up to 54 at this point, right? So that's just some of the latest Arrow the Truth, Big Fish Spence Jr. He looked like he's in shape, man. We need to see him in action soon. You said Canelo's going for the early knockout. He's coming out fast. That's what I think. I think that's what Tarver said too. That Canelo. Who said that? Somebody said that Canelo's got to come out fast and hard. On pause on Terrence Crawford. He got to come out fast and hard on him. But Canelo has stamina issues. He don't have the physique or the body that's built for like that endurance like that. He has that stockier build. So he got to be careful that he don't gas out. He's definitely going to be the heavier guy tomorrow. Well, they probably rehydrated a little bit by now as well. So you best believe right now both guys ain't. They probably not like 167 right now. You know what I'm saying? They probably a little bit more now. And by tomorrow, Canelo should be. Wait, 167. I say Canelo probably blow up to about 185, and Crawford probably be like 170. Maybe like 178 or something like that. That's just my guess. I don't think Canelo's gonna blow up to 190. That'd be damn near almost 30 pounds. Yeah, Tarver said that. That's right. You said they both walk around in 180s. Yeah, so Bud ain't the smaller guy. They the same size. Canelo just been at that weight class because he can kind of do what he wants to do in boxing. You said Bud will be 177, 183. That sounds about right. Oh yeah, you said Bud won't let him rest between rounds. Yeah. See, a lot of guys let Canelo get his breaks because Canelo like to take breaks in fights. Kind of rest between rounds. I don't think Bud's gonna let that happen. I don't think Team Crawford's gonna let that happen. You said what is Bud ring walk gonna be like? I don't know. I forgot. I think he might honestly he should come out with Kendrick. I think it'll make sense for him to come out with Kendrick Lamar for this one. Yeah, I think he should come out with Kendrick. Didn't he come out with Kendrick last time? I say if he did come out with Kendrick for the Mijamal fight, I can't remember. Um, Definitely come out with Kendrick for this one because they called him Kendrick and all that, and then Kendrick said Terrence Crawford in his song and all that. So yeah, Kendrick Lamar makes the most sense to me. If you go come out with an artist, come out with Kendrick Lamar. You said Bush come out with no music, just darkness. He should come down from the rafters like Shawn Michaels did back in the day from SummerSlam. Was it SummerSlam? One of those. He slid down the rafters and he was, yeah, like Shawn Michaels. He should come down like Shawn Michaels, or actually come down like Sting. Had a whole Sting outfit on, come down like Sting, right in the ring. It gets dark, then next you know he's in the ring. That's what he should do. He said you're gonna block watch prove me right. What's that? What block watch? What's that mean? You say he looked like Charlo at worse. Man, get out of here. Charlo was looking fat, bro. Charlo didn't train that hard, man. You said come out menacing sounds like Mike Tyson. He should come out like Mike Tyson. Just come out with the shirt, the torn up shirt, the little short with the short trunks and shoes. Just come out like Mike. You said Mexican dominate boxing. Nah, that's not true. Because when we talk about some of the greatest fighters in boxing history, well, the first name that comes to mind is who? Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard. You know what I'm saying? They'll say Roberto Duran, but he's not Mexican. He's from Panama. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know what I'm saying? Roy Jones Jr., Floyd Mayweather. Then we'll say Julio Cesar Chavez. You know what I'm saying? We may say Salvador Sanchez, but he was a young guy. We don't know how his career could have played out in the long run, but he was a great fighter for the young career he had, right? But when we talk about some of the best fighters in boxing history, it's USA, man. It's USA. Sugar Ray Leonard, come on, man. Studs. Floyd Mayweather, monsters. Andre Ward, come on, man. But I respect the support that the Mexican fans have for their people and their boxing. You know what I'm saying? They don't care. You know what I'm saying? They go show support regardless. You know what I'm saying? So I don't knock it at all. I envy it. Marvin Hagler, yeah, man. Marvin Hagler, I'm not saying there's not no great Latino fighters or Mexican fighters, but when we talk about some of the best in boxing history, it's usually Black Americans, bro. Yep, the great George Foreman. Rest in peace to the great George Foreman, Big George. It's USA, then Mexico, bro. It's USA, Mexico, and I think the third might be UK. I think the third might be the UK. Smoking Joe Frazier. Come on, man. We can go on for hours, y'all. Salute to D Lucky for the super chat. He says Bud just needs to test Canelo's athleticism early. Keep him resetting all night. And when Canelo gets frustrated, make him walk into some heat. Bud in 10. Yeah. Set Canelo up with traps. I think who was talking about that? Because I've been listening to some people talk about it. They were saying something about Crawford could set Canelo up with some traps. Set him up with some traps. Canelo got to be real careful against Crawford, bro. He's got to be careful. This will be a good fight. This will be a really, really, really good fight. Mario Lopez, y'all see Mario Lopez and Mark Kriegel? Like Mark Kriegel, like what was he doing there? You know what I'm saying? Mario Lopez all in boxing now, commentating and shit. Man, give me a job. You know what I'm saying? They got Mark Kriegel. He ain't with Top Rank no more. So he with the Zone now. You know. You said, but I think Bud's working the body quite a bit in this fight because Canelo's body ain't been tested. His body ain't been tested, y'all. I don't think Canelo likes to get punched in the stomach. Crawford's going to test that for sure. Crawford is a very active body puncher. I mean, he throws body punches every fight. He throws a nice amount of body punches that he don't get credit for. You know, guys like Spence and all these dudes get credit for body work, but Crawford, he's a body monster as well. Shit, he stopped a dude with a body shot. These guys ain't stopping dudes with body shots. Bud Crawford's stopping dudes with body shots. Come on, man. I think Bud's gonna be working that body. Canelo's skull may be too thick. If you look at Canelo and his brothers, they all got them big heads. So Canelo may be one of those dudes you can't really knock out like that. So you may have to work that body. We go find out. Mario, yeah, I ain't mad at Mario for supporting Canelo. I am not mad at him. You said Charlo didn't even fight back. No, he didn't fight back, bro. He didn't fight back at all. He was on the defensive the whole fight. He was scared. You said, but bad decision to do that. What? I think Andy Ruiz was the first Mexican heavyweight champion. But will Andy Ruiz go down as an all-time great though? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he trolling hard. Cause once Canelo gone, what you got, bro? What you got, man? We got Shakur, we got Keyshawn, we got Devin, we got Abdullah Mason. We got a lot of people, bro. You know, after Canelo gone, I don't know, man. I don't know what Mexico really got. Canelo took all the juice. Benavidez is Mexican, Ecuadorian, American. You said Charlo and team was literally clapping in the locker room after the fight. Yeah, man. They just happy. They was happy to be there. That's gonna be the thing. When if Canelo lands a big shot on Boyd, will it stun him? Will it hurt him? Crawford can't make no mistakes to be getting hit. I tell you that. You don't want to get hit. Salute to Falcon for the super chat. He says if Canelo throws that jab jab right hand combination against Crawford, lights out, Alice. Man, he better not do that. And he better not do it like he did against Beeble because he kept doing it. Actually, he does it a lot. He don't want to keep doing that. You do not want to. You don't. I don't know, y'all. We may see a timid Canelo. He may come out a little hot early on, but then once Crawford start countering, he may be pretty timid in this fight. Because unlike Floyd, Crawford will hurt you and knock you out. And he'll go for the kill if you buzzed. Floyd Mayweather just sit there and pot shot and play around with you. But Crawford, he's coming to hurt you. So it's a different dynamic. But that jab jab right hand combo, nah, Canelo, you can't be doing that, bro. That's not gonna work, dog. That's not gonna work against Bud, dude. That is not gonna work. Yep, Canelo's gonna be timid, bro. He may be timid on throwing shots because he's gonna be worried about getting countered. Once Crawford gets his distance down and his once he feels what you got, he may feel it on the gloves or something. But once he gets that distance down and he start letting them hands go, it's gonna be real ugly for Canelo. Canelo can't let Crawford get as comfortable in his distance. He really just can't let Bud get comfortable. He's gonna have to make Bud uncomfortable, and that's very hard to do. Cause Bud, he don't he what did Bane say? Oh, he enjoys the darkness, and like he loves that. So Canelo's gonna have to make this guy uncomfortable. Look at this guy. He's one of those fans that be in the chats on them live streams when you watching the press conferences and the weigh-ins. He's one of those dudes. He's over here now. No, about nothing about boxing, no boxing knowledge, no nothing. Just a radical. Just a radical. You said Mexican boxing number one. No, it ain't. Y'all number two, bro. You getting that wrong. You said Canelo gave up all his advantages for this fight. He said, look at Bud's body. Are you what? What are you talking about? They both look like they're in shape. Crawford definitely look like he's in shape. Now you just a troll, bro. You just a troll. You're not even a good troll. Like the best trolls, you don't even know they be trolling. Like me, I'm a master troll, grandmaster troll. You is a amateur troll, bro. You have no idea what you're doing, bro. You got a long way to go, young Padawan. You say he 12. Yeah, he is. He's like 16 years old. On here with a bunch of grown men. That's what it looks like, right? When you look at those type of comments, these kids, they have to be kids. They have to be. There's no way these are grown men typing this shit up like that. There's just no way. I've refused to believe that that's a grown man. He has to be like 17 years old. He has to be 17. You said you said he's not even Mexican. What? Hey, this is Bud's moment, y'all. This is the big moment. This is his big moment. I don't even know what else. We said everything we need to say. Now we just kind of waiting. You said Ryan Virgil. None of those dudes. Benavidez is the only one that gets respect. Only reason why Virgil ain't getting none because he ain't even fought for no world title. Good kid, but he ain't even fought for a world title. Ryan Garcia, come on, man. Joke. Joke. Only reason why those dudes even got any buzz because they Mexican though, low key. Because Mexican boxing fans, they some good fans. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of them. That don't mean they don't got the best fighters. They don't. You say he's Asian. He probably is, bro. He probably is. Kind of remind me of a Pactard. That's what kind of what the Pactards do a lot. The Pactards. I don't even like to use that word, but that's what they used to do back in the day. They just was just saying anything, and you know, He ain't go show up tomorrow after Bud kicks Canelo's ass though. Oh, Benavidez is a G, bro. I'm a fan. Salute to Tremel Browning for the super chat. He said, salute to the dojo. My prediction for the first 2 rounds, the crowd is going to go crazy. Canelo's landing punches after TCS downloading. The fans scream. He shocked the world. Yep. That's going to be a thing for Crawford. His team is prepared for all that they said. But everything Canelo's going to do tomorrow, the fans are going to be screaming. Everything he's do. So Crawford's going to have to shut that crowd up. That's probably going to be one of his first tasks is to shut that crowd down. Shut the crowd down. Once you shut that crowd down, then the judge is gonna have to pay a close attention. Because that's a pro-Mexican crowd, pro-Canelo crowd. They're gonna be cheering every little move he makes, everything he does. They're gonna react to it. Crawford gonna have to shut them up immediately to the point where it's quiet up in there. To where you can hear what the judge is typing and writing. It's so quiet. You eliminate that crowd, yeah. If the crowd is quiet, then you know who's winning the fight. So that's the good thing about that pro Canelo crowd. You know when it's quiet, he's losing. And they gonna be quiet. Watch. What's up, perfect form? Salute. You said when Bud gets dropped. I have a hard time seeing that, Chico. Y'all say this stuff like Bud be getting stopped and dropped and rocked and you know what I mean? It happens in fights, but we don't see that happen often with Crawford, bro. We don't see it happen often. Getting dropped. Good luck landing that shot that enables that to happen. You said this fight should have been on the East Coast? Yeah, they may have us up real late. If you're in the Midwest or if you're on the East Coast, we might be up a little late, especially if you're on the East Coast. Y'all gonna be up real late. They act like Bud just some like I don't know, man. People they go find out tomorrow. They go find out tomorrow. You got Usyk and guys like Floyd telling you that this dude is something different. If you can't take their word for it, then I don't know what else to tell you, bro. Oh, you in New York? Yeah, they gonna have y'all up late. Shit, it's late now for y'all. Just make sure you show up tomorrow, Mexican boxing fan. Make sure you come here tomorrow. Don't go over there to Showbiz or Ego or nothing. You come to Bushido Boxing tomorrow. We gonna have a lot to talk about. Salute to Tremel Browning for another super chat. He says, I feel it in my soul, brother. Crawford is getting ready to do it. This is the big one. For all the fans, salute to all the Bud fans that stayed down. Yeah, that's right. Salute to all the Bud fans that stayed down over the years, through all the ups and downs. You know what I'm saying? Because at one point it wasn't looking good for Bud, y'all. We talked about it. It wasn't looking good for him at all. It wasn't looking like he was gonna get no fights. Bob Aaron was dissing him. You know, it was looking real bad for him at one point. The politics of boxing was kicking his ass, but he came through. The politics was the only thing that was kicking his ass. That's the only thing that was beat up on Bud. He never got beat up in the ring. The politics was kicking his ass for a little minute though, but he got through that. Oh, there's something else I heard. I think Mark Krieger was talking about it. I want to ask you guys in the chat, have you heard this story? I never heard this one. Maybe it's something I missed on a countdown or something, but I guess Steven So-Called Nelson, you know, if you don't know, he's a dude that can he's one of those dudes that can do everything. You know what I'm saying? He can cut hair, he can fight, he can do everything. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those dudes that can do a little bit of everything. He was working in a gas station, and I guess he got jumped by like 20 dudes. Bud Crawford saw it and wasn't liking it and went over there and started whooping everybody's ass like in a kung fu movie. And they've been boys since. Now, I'm not sure if it was actually 20 guys, but according to Mark Kriegel and the story that he was telling, that Crawford was whooping everybody's ass and he took them all out. You know, they took them out and they've been tight since. So that's, tell me, leave it in the chat if you heard that story. I'd never heard that before. Oh, you heard it too? Hey, you ain't lying, Jay Smith. If Crawford stops him, you're gonna be hearing all kinds of stuff about snack and he was on roids. Crawford's like, man, I don't even like to take one a day. Like, I don't like to do none of that. Like, you will never find nothing in my system, no matter like nothing. Like, I don't do nothing. You say you heard it was 40 guys. You heard that story? Yeah, I never heard that story. That's crazy. I don't know if it was 20 dudes though. That could be a little exaggeration, honestly, but that's crazy that they met, Bud helped him out. He was kicking ass and shit, and they became tight. You said 5 dudes? Okay, that sounds a little bit more realistic. I could believe that. Bud probably could take out a good number of guys. I seen a video the other day. It's called the Unks. It was called Unks versus the YNs. It was two YNs versus an Unk. And if you don't know what an Unk is, that's anybody from the age of, what is it, 38 to like, I want to say like 46, maybe 48 or something like that. And the Unk was kicking their ass, bro. He was knocking them out. He had his gloves on. Like he was ready for it his whole life. Unk was kicking their ass, man. But them young dudes can't fight though. You know what I'm saying? The younger guys, they can't. They not like our generation where we dealt with bullying. You know what I'm saying? You had to actually, when I was growing up, you actually had to, and you know, I was always well liked, especially by the older cats and shit. But when I was growing up, you had to worry about older kids kicking your ass. See, nowadays these kids today don't gotta worry about that shit because it's super, super de duper soft. But back in the day, you had to be mindful. Even if you was a younger cat, dude, 5, 6 years older than you, he'll bully you and try to beat you up and pick on you and shit. You had to deal with that shit growing up. You know what I'm saying? You actually had to fight growing up when I was growing up. You know what I'm saying? But these kids today, they don't even, they can't do that. Even Trayvon Crawford, Crawford's nephew even admitted this. Like, man, y'all older dudes, y'all way tougher than we are. Bud's nephew admitted this. You know what I'm saying? That we tougher than his generation. So if you a guy in your 20s, maybe like early 30s, sorry, man. We had to deal with bullying and all types of shit. And it was normal though. That was normal. Yep. They just make you fight. You better not cry. If you got beat up or somebody picking on you, your mom or your dad used to make you go over there and fight them back. Like, yeah, man, it was totally different times back then, bro. Totally different times. Boys could be boys. You know what I'm saying? Roughhousing and playing and wrestling and fighting. Yeah, we used to do stuff like that. Be outside climbing trees, doing backwards flips and stuff. Like, yeah, they don't do none of that shit no more. Yeah, that's right, man. We got us a scrap tomorrow. Great, great, man. I cannot. Whew, this is crazy, y'all. I almost can't believe it's happening. I almost can't believe this is actually happening. Yeah, he's lashing out of fear. Ain't it easy to grade? He's nervous, bro. That's nerves. He is super nervous. Mexican boxing #1. He's nervous, bro. That's all that is. That's nerves. It's okay, man. It's normal. Y'all heard what Max Kellerman said, right? When this thing first started. I know everybody's a little nervous. Yeah, hell yeah. That's that fight fan shit, man. When the big fights, man, you be nervous. Yo, you rooting for your guy, especially if you was emotionally invested or you passionate about the sport. You be a little nervous, like, man, I hope my guy win, because then I gotta see all this shit talking on the internet. Boxing can be unforgiving, unlike other sports, man. You can't lose in boxing and get praised like that. You know, people gonna be roasting and talking shit, and yeah, we grew up locking up, playing toss up football. Man, man, they don't do none of this stuff no more. Indian Burns. Right. Nah, the fight is definitely tomorrow, bro. Naoya Inoue fights Sunday. Yeah, if you grew up in the '90s, then you already know what I'm talking about. Oh, that pass out game where you what was that? Somebody used to hold them from behind. I think the other person used to push on their chest and shit. Man, I can't believe y'all brought that up. Man, that's throwback. That's throwback. I think I was like in elementary uh, when people was doing that. The pass out game. I never did that shit. I'm like, man, I ain't about to be out here passing out. You said you got Bud stopping Canelo late in the eight? Man, y'all. I wanna go through with the knockout, but man, Canelo got an iron skull, bro. I think if Bud's gonna get the KO, it's gonna have to be accumulation or body shot. But Crawford said he's getting a victory. By any means, he's getting a victory. Breaking pencils, facts, Miguel. I was just about to get to that. Breaking the pencils. Yeah, Shakur heard Mike Cabager talking shit. He wants to spar him. Oh, you said you did that pass out game in the '70s. See, that's why I never did that game, bro. I never played it. I mean, kids used to play it in school, and I never. I'm like, man, I'm cool on that. I ain't trying to pass out. Girls used to be doing it and everything. You said the ref stopping it, not knocking Canelo big neck out. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, bro. I'm thinking more so of a stoppage. Like the referees, Canelo may get stunned a little bit, and Crawford's just teeing off on him or something. I could see that happening. The referee jumps in, but the referee will definitely give Canelo the benefit of the doubt. You know what I'm saying? He ain't gonna jump in early to stop the fight early. That's not happening. So Crawford gonna have to really, really put in some work. Not only is he a cash cow, but he's a Mexican great, Mexican boxing great, and a lot of people benefit from Canelo's success. So Crawford's gonna have to put in some work, and he already knows this. He said he's down 2 rounds. So that's something I used to always say when people fought Canelo. You down 2 rounds. I think Bud and be watching the channel though, but that's something I always say when people fight Canelo. You already down 2 rounds before you get in the ring with the dude. He said, "Boy, fans scared. We ain't scared, bro. You tripping? You definitely is like 17 years old or something. Yeah, Canelo looks pretty thin. He's probably aiming to be quick this fight because he don't necessarily got to be, you know, maybe he don't necessarily got to be bulky or nothing to deal with the bigger guys. So he probably aiming for more to be a little bit more quick, aiming to be quicker this fight. But Canelo's probably getting his ass kicked in camp by Boots, so that's on his mind. And then when Crawford gets in there, well, he's likely going to finish him off. What's up, Karate Body? Salute. I think it's going to be the body work from Bud, though. I think the body work is going to be key for Crawford. The jab and consistent body work. The southpaw jab and consistent body work. Salute to Marquise Monroe for the super chat. He said, if Canelo gets tired, it's a wrap. I see Bud stopping him if his gas tank ain't full. Facts, bro. Facts. And I think Team Crawford is going to turn up the heat in the sixth or seventh round because that's usually when Canelo starts to fade. That's when Canelo really slows down. And depending on how the fight played out into that particular moment, I think they go really, really turn it up on him. Because you got to remember, Canelo was on yachts. He was riding dirt bikes. He was playing soccer. He was drinking in San Antonio. He was doing a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't in Colorado in the mountains. He might have been at Lake Tahoe or something, but he wasn't in the mountains running stairs. He wasn't doing none of that stuff, bro. He wasn't doing none of that. He was probably riding horses and shit. Crawford's not only the better athlete, but I would argue he's the more skilled boxer and a better fighter. Not to say Canelo's no good or nothing like that, but I just think Crawford's better. Overall, better. They're not Crawford's not really the smaller body. They're the same fucking size. These dudes are the same size, bro. Only difference is Canelo's been at that weight for what, 6 9 fights or something like that. That's the only advantage he has at this point. He has no real advantages in this fight. He has no real advantages. We don't even know if he's the stronger guy. We go find out tomorrow night because Crawford is known as to be freakishly strong. So we go see if Canelo's stronger than Bud. And plus, Canelo's inside game isn't that great either. It's kind of overrated, if I'm honest. It's kind of overrated. Canelo has his punch output has been reduced. He's been reduced to jab jab straight right hand. You know, the occasional left hook. Whenever he can land it, he has a hard time landing it because he don't got no good feet. His feet is bad. So if a guy's using lateral movement, Canelo's not going to be able to land and wind up that hard left hook he likes to throw. And if he attempts to just throw it, then that could be a huge mistake against a guy like Crawford, who will make you pay for your mistakes. He's not like a William Skull who was scared running around the ring. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you said Bud spars with Keyshawn and Shakur. Yeah, they faster and sharper than Canelo. Bud is going to touch Canelo, and Canelo will struggle chasing Bud. Yeah, that's why Bud was training with those guys. You know what I'm saying? That's why he trained with the younger, smaller guys for the speed. Shakur's extremely sharp. You know what I'm saying? You can get some good work because Shakur is really, really fast and excellent reflexes. So they keep the older fighter in Bud, keep him sharp. You know what I'm saying? Training with the younger guys is a good thing. You know what I'm saying? Some of the younger guys with some skills, it's a good thing because they can keep you sharp. But one thing I do question: if Crawford wins, will it be a rematch? Because right now it's a winner takes all. But I think, I think it might be a rematch. I think it might be a rematch. I just think it might be a rematch. I say why not? If the fans want to see it, I say why not. But if Crawford washes Canelo like he did Spence, then that's gonna be a hard sell, even for Canelo. You said they talking about that already? You said yeah, that's why Canelo lost weight so he can use his legs more in this fight. He's gonna have to use his legs, but he also got to be careful. You know what I'm saying? He don't want to get too caught up into using his legs and then his punches ain't. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a tough fight for Canelo, man. Just a tough fight because Crawford is a really good athlete, a really really good athlete. But yeah, you guys, the weigh-ins went down. Ceremonial weigh-ins went down tomorrow. We got the big fight between Canelo Alvarez and Terrence Bud Crawford. I honestly still can't believe it's happening, but it's going down. I think boxing fans is going to win in the end. I think the majority of the world is going to be watching this fight. It's on Netflix for everybody to see for free. So be sure to make sure you tune in because I seen some people questioning, is it free on Netflix? I'm like, bro, you don't know that by now? Yes, it's free on Netflix for anybody to watch as long as you got that app. So yeah, man, it's gonna be a great day of boxing, great weekend of boxing, and I got Crawford winning the fight. He probably stopped Canelo sometime late in the fight. If not, I expect Bud to put up a massive performance nonetheless. I don't think Canelo stands a chance. Um, and that sounds kind of crazy, but that's just what I strongly believe. I think Crawford's going to put up a massive performance and wash the shot of this dude. But salute to everybody in the building. Much love to all you guys. Salute to the Canelo fans in the building. May the best man win. Catch you guys on the next one. Love you, Mom. Peace out.